Hi, I'm Milana of Milana on the Path, a journey into the light. Welcome to my podcast series, Walking Love in Fifth Dimension. We continue this series with part 2, entitled Standing in the Truth of Love. As we set out on our journey to discover and understand the truth about fifth dimension reality, we must follow certain ground rules. Each dimension has its own purpose and agenda, and if we are to thrive and prosper within its sphere, we must pay attention and adhere to the acceptable behaviors that both support and maintain its energetic health. In Walking Love in Fifth Dimension Part 2, I speak candidly about the need for us to hold the truth of our relationship with love and to take responsibility for always standing in that truth. Fifth Dimension requires us to show up as self-loving beings, honoring ourselves and each other, and believing that God would approve if we treated everyone as if they were Him. Listen, enjoy, and learn.
In the scope, of being here and doing this, claiming who we are, realizing that we're working with fifth dimension energy, which is different. I want each one of you to realize that why each one of you are here has to do with your ability to hold the truth of your love, of your relationship to love, and of your growing love for yourself, to hold the truth of that no matter what. To not leave that place in the face of undergoing. So this means that you are not perfectly there, and that you're not all the way healed, and that, you have no growing to do. Opposite all of those. You're totally in it. You have tons of work to do, and it's a long haul of which I don't believe there is an end. So what it does mean is that you have a place in yourself where you hold your alignment with love. You hold your alignment with this work, with the path. You hold your alignment with the truth, and you take responsibility for your growth. What that affords us is the opportunity to deal with fifth dimension energy. Were you not capable of doing that, you could not be here, because we're not saying that we're done with the injury. We're still transmuting it. But in fifth dimension, we cannot use the injury as a means of expressing and communicating our reality. We have to be able to acknowledge the injury and speak the truth about it. We have to stay in the truth. We have to stay, i.e., then in the love. In case you think I overspoke your reality and I see you differently than you know yourself to be, then what I say to you is that you're here, and obviously that means something. And if there's any distance between where you are and what I've said you need to be, then it's time for you to cover that territory and make up the difference. Okay? It's essential. The energy in here has to remain clean. It has to. And I feel like it's important for you, if you haven't done it. And some of you are working in that dynamic, because in the various groups that are going on that are fifth dimensionally placed, meaning we're going for fifth dimension building, this is also the case. So you understand that, for those of you who are, and for those of you who are not, it is really important that your energy be really clear in here. That keeps us able to move forward, because if the energy's off, the information's not going to come. Things will just come to a crashing halt. So, so let me talk to you about how to keep your energy clear here. What you're basically doing here is listening with your heart. All right. You're receiving information. You're not thinking about this information. You're not required to think about it. You're not required to figure it out. You're not required to challenge it because there's no challenge involved. Take it all in and let it find its place in you. One of the reasons you all are all here, because I know that in your relationship with the work and your relationship with me in that context and in love, and this is another place where I'm going to speak for you, you don't have any issues with me. Okay? Meaning that you trust that I have integrity and you trust that what I say, I'm coming from the clearest place that I possibly can, and that I am aligned with love. And so I'm not going to say anything to you that is out of alignment with love. I may say things to you that you don't understand. I may say things to you that sound very foreign. But what is very important is that you realize that I would only put myself in this position of speaking to you this way if I know that I'm going to be coming from a place of truth. So as I see it, and how we're going to deal with it is that if you don't understand something that I say, then I'm asking you to do the work on your end. Okay? Because I know that what I'm saying is truth. I have to stand in who I am and what I know. And it's interesting. We're all going to learn about that because it's a real challenge. We have not been brought up to stand in the truth of what we know. And the minute we start getting close there, fear in the form of people and events start to say, "Whoa, no, don't even try it." It is very disturbing for fear and for people who are holding the injury for you to take a stand in your truth because it upsets things. It, number one, places you in proximity to love. It also shines a light on everybody else's proximity to fear. And people and fear do not want that kind of exposure. So the job is to keep you and anybody else who starts to move towards that place of being centered in themselves and the truth, is to keep you from doing it. I know this from personal experience, and I'm sure you all do as well. I am going to be the example. I'm going to take a stand in my truth and in what I know. And it's an interesting place to be because that means that I don't second guess myself, and I'm not going to doubt myself, and I'm not going there. There is a place when you know who you are and you know where you're coming from. And so in that light, I am going to say what I say and expect that you will make up the difference, as I said, on your end in terms of understanding it. What's going to happen too to facilitate that process is that at the end of a certain time frame of speaking, I am going to take a break, and you all are going to be able to break into discussion groups, and you'll be able to then talk about what your response is to what's being said, what questions you have with each other. I'm not going to answer any questions. That's not what I'm here to do. I am here to say there is this information that you all need. We've got 6 months to get this work in a certain place. And the people who are in this work in their hearts in a certain place. And at the end of this 6-month period, various things are going to happen. One of them is I'm going to be leaving again. So it's time to learn how not to have to ask me questions. It's time to learn how to go in and say, this is what I heard, this is the truth, blah, blah, blah. This is what I know to be true. And where am I stuck? Okay. And work the work. Work the work. It's time for everybody to be capable of assessing what is truth, what isn't, how to get truth that's not understood to a place of understanding, how to walk through all of that. So we get to learn that now. It's very important. So, and that you all start to see each other as peers and respect and honor each other for what it is that you walk with, that you see each other as capable of holding the form of truth, that you go to each other to consult and to look at together situations and things, that you become capable by acknowledging self fully of acknowledging each other fully. That we do this differently than third dimension, that you really become capable of honoring human beings. And unlike third dimension, the closer they are to you, the more dishonor they get. Okay, we're not doing that dance. It's like familiarity breeds contempt. The more I know of you means I don't have to treat you that well, because if you are hanging out with me, you can't be that great because I'm not. That's what that means. Okay. We're not doing that because we know that we are great and we know the truth of ourselves. And if that is who we are, we can see everybody else and we know that that's the truth about them. And I'm going to put it to you like this. It's when we are capable of treating each person as if they were God. How would you treat God? Because the truth of the matter is, whether or not we're able to handle and hold that, that's exactly what's going on here. When we can get to that truth that every being is God, and if you want to look at it like God is just like this big pie and everybody's a slice, however you want to look at it, but we're all that. So how would you treat God? Working towards that, because that's the truth about human beings, that is the truth about us. And I want that to get more real. I hear these words that I say, the truth about, and it's like, I know that they have a certain meaning, but I'm looking for real. I'm looking for experience to match the words. So there's not this distance between the words, because you say the words and people shake their heads. And it's like, You say someone is God, and it's like, yeah, it's like, got it. And file it away. I'm going to bring some of those things that we filed away. I'm going to pull those out. We're going to have more to file away that says, okay, let's file that one and I'll see how that looks in 6 months. I can't quite get that in focus. But we've got some that we've had filed away for a while. We need to pull them out and claim them. That we are God. Wow. I want everybody to just hold that one and take it home with you. Get it out of the file. We'll see what it brings up for you. Okay, let's start to deal with what stands in between us and that. This is not a religious statement. It isn't a statement that, implies anything of any dishonor to God. And the only reason we think so, because we think so little of ourselves, that if we say we're God, then, oh, what are we doing to poor God? But I tell you something, what have we been doing to poor us? That's the imbalance. God's cool, and I'm sure God's just very cool being called us God, very excited about us getting to the truth. When we can embrace all of this story of beingness without getting it caught in our throat, that we're out of line somehow. We're not out of line. We're just getting started. It's true. And that I want to be real. I just have this desire for us to begin to walk this thing like it's in our bones, like it's in our, it's like, boy, this is life. This is real life. Because I tell you this, we are going to be the ones to make that real. In the bones real. There is nobody else, guys, in case okay, let me lay this out to you. You're it in terms of the foundation and the beginning walk of the path out into the world. You can look over your shoulder or go back in the 10 years and see, isn't there somebody else? But you know what? No, this is it. You're it. Okay? You're it. You are chosen. You have enormous opportunity and enormous responsibility. But you are it. So you're it. Now, let me tell you this, because no great plan is ever set up to rely on just one thing or one person or one group or one team. Now, if you, for some reason, decide that you can't handle the job will get done. There is another team that signed the contract that says if that team doesn't make it, we will take their place. So that eliminates any kind of ego about it, because trust me, it has nothing to do with that. You just decided from whatever your individual journeys were that you wanted to be on this team. That's in your contract. And that has to do with your historical walk as a spirit and what kind of, points you need to have to probably take your vacation on planet blah, 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 and how many markers you have to accrue to be able to get the condo in blah, blah, blah when you go there. No time sharing. You want your own, so I'll sign up for a little bit more. Whatever the deal was, okay, you're working it out now. And so that's you being who you are. Okay, it's all about your own journey, in other words. So it puts you on notice. No ego, because someone's right at your back saying, you can't do it, I can. Not competitive, just very, very smart planning. Okay, it's not a competition. Nobody's breathing down your back saying, I hope you don't make it because I'm coming. No. As far as the organic movement of it, if you make it, everybody gets to do what they need to do. Nobody's going to be out of step, out of line, or anything. But you do have a job to do here. And I want everybody to go home and in this next week really, really seriously consider that you have a job to do and whether or not you're up for it. And the job that I'm talking about here, don't go home and shift what I said and take a portion of it and say, yeah, I can do that, and so I'll sign up for the whole thing, but I'm not sure that I can do the other stuff, but that's okay. I don't want to have to say that, because in fifth dimension, everything is as it is. There are no masks, there are no curtains, there are no subtext and floors beneath the floor. This is the ground floor. This is it. There's no place to go. You have to walk it as it is real. There is no second agenda, hidden agenda dynamics, because trust me, they will come right up in your face. So you have to tell the truth, because if you don't, fifth dimension will tattletale on you, basically. So I want people to really take me seriously. And I want you to go home and ask yourself, am I up for this? And if you are not, it is fine. There's no judgment. It is a big thing to be up for. But get it clear with yourselves. Get it clear. You're going to be here. You're going to be that foundation. You're going to be the people that other people coming through the work can come to and say, what is going on? What's happening? You'll be guiding. You'll be advising. You'll be doing whatever it is your particular walk specifies for you to do. Everyone's not going to be doing the same thing, but you will be speaking the same truth. Okay?